Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going over some players on a quick check on if we think we're right or wrong on how our projections went. We also give you our week 5 starts of the week. Be sure to stay tuned for all of it. Welcome back, guys, to the Fantasy Football Outpost. My name is Dallas.
I'm Jay.
And as I said earlier, we are going over a quick little segment that Jay actually wants to throw at me, rapid fire, to try and see how I do. It's going to be a very short episode today, guys. Busy schedules and such, but we still wanted to get something out to you. As you can see, I'm rocking some Longhorns gear. He's got on his Sooners. Big Red River rivalry this weekend. Those of you that watch college football know that's one of, if not the biggest rivalry in college football, so we felt we wanted to represent our sides of it. Texas is going to walk away with the easy win. Pretty confident on that. I can't even say it with a straight face, but it's going to be good. I'm liking the direction Texas headed. I think it's actually going to be a good game, so we'll see. I think Oklahoma, they both have stuff to prove, so that makes it a really good game to watch. So hopefully those of you that are into it, watch it, and hook 'em.
Boomer Sooner. It'll be a fun one. I'm excited for Texas and like you said, direction you guys are going, so it'll be a good game.
All right, so you want to kick off into this segment? I basically got a small warning on this just for some context, and all I've gotten to do is pretty much read over it. He's actually throwing these at me, and I got to kind of respond with what I think's best. So,
yeah, so we have our consensus rankings that we decided before the season, PPR scoring, and so we got some guys who have performed a lot higher than we had expected in our rankings, and some guys who have also performed not as high as we had hoped in our ranking. So I'm going to throw some guys by position at Dallas, and he's going to decide were we right and were we have them high or low, or were we wrong and we missed them. So either we missed them to thinking they would do a lot better, or we missed them and we had them overly ranked. So the first one is Sam Darnold. We had Sam Darnold ranked at quarterback 26. Dallas, what do you say?
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say we were wrong. Sam Darnold has absolutely killed it, although there's plenty of different reasons why. The defense is great. The scheme is working out for him. Joe Brady's a great offensive coordinator. He's got all the weapons, so you could pull any argument you want as to why he's doing great and say it's not him, but in reality, he's doing great himself. He's also killing it on the rushing touchdowns. I mean, he might finish as the RB1 this year. Yeah. And so, but no, all jokes aside, we were definitely wrong, man. I think I had him at 20. You had him at 27. Neither one of us were even close to what I think he's going to end up being. He's killing it this year, man.
Yeah, I definitely was way off on him. Definitely very low Sam Darnold. All right, next one is Ben Roethlisberger. We had him at quarterback 14.
Yeah, I'm going to say we were wrong. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. No, but all jokes aside, Ben Roethlisberger, I think we both bought into the narrative that he really was coming out the injury last year, and that's why he struggled. And he had the full season. They all said he looked better. He's looking better in practice. Strength's coming back to him. And in reality, he just sucks now. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. I mean, he just is not himself. I mean, I'd hate to say a quarterback is his caliber just sucks, but he honestly, compared to his prior self, there's no other description for it. We liked Juju. We liked Claypool. We loved Claypool. Loved Deontay. Loved Naji. The tight ends are solid enough to give you good production, and he just can't get it done. And quite honestly, maybe he works his way back to here from Deontay and Naji carrying him, but I don't see a world where he finishes where we had him. He's more like what everybody else did. I mean, unfortunately, we missed that one bad. We tried to call our shot, and it just missed.
All right, the first running back is Jonathan Taylor. We had him at RB10. Is he going to finish around there?
I think we got that one right, personally. I think you had some reasons to worry prior to this past week that maybe he was going to finish a lot lower, and you could also overreact to this past week and think, no, he's going to finish where everybody else had him early in the offseason, where he's just the top 5 running back, and in some cases the first one that went after McCaffrey. In some cases getting drafted before McCaffrey in Dynasty. I mean, people were crazy hyped on him, and me and Jay were kind of on the same page where we thought he was going to be good, but not what everybody else thought. So now I think the right way to approach it is he's going to finish in that RB 8 to 12 range. We had him at 10. I think we got that one right.
Yep. Okay, our next running back is Naji Harris. And I will say, let me put this disclaimer out before you get into it. Now, I had Naji down at RB 17, so I pulled this ranking down pretty far. So what do you say about us and Naji?
I had him at 10, so it's kind of the same situation as Darnold, but on a lot higher scale. I think we're both going to end up being lower on him than what he's going to be. I mean, you had your reasons to worry naturally, but I think everything's pointing to he's going to deliver on that high draft capital rookie running back that we usually see. Prior to this past year, CEH kind of let us all down when it comes to what was put on him projected wise versus what we got. But I think a lot of that was our fault. But Naji's looking like, based on PPR, and again with that argument we used with Ben Roethlisberger not being able to throw it further than 5 yards with his noodle arm, Naji's going to kill it this year on a PPR perspective, which is what our rankings were. And so there's a very good chance he finishes a lot higher than what we had him at. And I'll put it this way. I'm not really looking forward to what he's going to cost next year. I know that.
For real. Yeah. All right. First, our receiver, we had Calvin Ridley as the wide receiver 6 for this season.
Yeah. So not to spoil our next guy, but we kind of flip-flopped on these next two, where Jay had Calvin Ridley as high as 5. I had him down at 9. And he finished as our 6. And the way I'm going to word it here is, it's exactly what I was saying. It seems to be exactly what I was saying. He could turn around and blow up, where everybody said he's always been good with or without Julio, and it doesn't matter. And I just kept saying there's a big difference in being without Julio because he got rolled out on Friday, and now defenses have to quick on the fly adjust, and Julio not even being on your team, and defenses all year long focusing on you and you alone and what you did in those games without Julio and how to stop it. And that's what we're seeing. He gets enough volume that he's going to finish as a wide receiver 1. I mean, he should. And he's been consistent thus far, so he's going to work his way there. But as for that huge next step that everybody's looking for, to him become the next elite guy, I just don't see it happening for him. And I'm going to say we got this one wrong with him finishing at 6. I still think he's going to be a 1. I'm not fading him into oblivion. I still think he's a back-end 1, but I don't think he's going to deliver on that draft cost, which is a big reason why I don't have him anywhere.
And our next guy who's right after him in the rankings is Allen Robinson. We had our wide receiver 7.
Yeah, it's flip on this. I had him at 6. Jay had him at 10. Tried to call my shot on him, but quite honestly, the Bears and their offense, they look like they're guessing. One of the things that me and Jay were talking about is it's kind of similar to what you saw with Miami last year when Tua got thrown in. That offense was built for fits and not for what Tua was good at. And then they built it for Tua this year, and he looked a lot better than he did last year. And it unfortunately looks like what they did with Fields. I thought for sure they'd be more prepared, but it looks like he's just being thrown in, trying to do what they planned with Andy Dalton, whereas they're two completely different quarterbacks. The long-term outlook for Fields, I still love it. But unless they turn things around there quickly, this is not going to look good for Allen Robinson at all to even finish as the 10 where you had him. He's looking like he's going to be lucky to push top 24. So we'll see. I'd like to think he turns it around because of his talent. We're both huge on his talent, but yeah, there's no chance at this point, this deep into the season. I cannot see him working his way up to a wide receiver 7 like we had him. So that's a big miss on that one.
Yeah, and our tight end is George Kittle, and I think he right now is in the doghouse of a lot of people. So we had him collectively ranked at tight end 2. Dallas, what's your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I didn't understand why everybody was so low on him, and then I realized I don't have him anywhere, so that's why I'm not frustrated. He absolutely is not delivering on that back into early third round draft pick that you had to spend to get him. I had him at 2, and Jay had him at 3 behind Waller, which in tight ends, that's a big difference. Like trying to call your shot at who's that next guy behind Kelsey, and like he elaborated is when we were discussing it earlier, was nobody matters past Kelsey, honestly. And these few guys after, it's looking like they typically matter. It's looking like it's kind of a dice roll with them too. And so when you look at Kittle, it's just honestly, I don't know what the 49ers are doing this year. It's becoming a point where I don't want any part of that offense. It doesn't matter what the position is. I still holding hope out for Ayuk for sure. Debo looking like he's going to be a solid fantasy asset. I mean, he's had 2 huge weeks, but because of a history, it's still hard to trust that. And then a carousel at running back, I don't know that I want any of them. And George Kittle scares me with his injuries to then when he's healthy, that's the situation he's coming back to. So it's I definitely think we got it wrong on this one. And I don't think it's his fault. I don't understand what this team's doing.
Yeah, totally agree with that, Dallas. And really earlier, like I said, earlier in the season, I said everything past Kittle, everything past him, I don't care. I mean, Kelsey, Waller, Kittle, great. And I do really like Pitts. I do really like Hawk. But it was one of the things where we went back and forth about who was our tight end for really in the area. And then Pitts, who I'm always down on rookie tight ends, regardless of how great they are, because it's such a hard position to jump into. And so even though I love the talent of Pitts, and so we can kind of see him struggling, which Atlanta's struggling overall. But after tight end 3, between tight end 4 and tight end 20, it doesn't really matter right now. We were talking about starting Dawson Knox, it's just kind of ridiculous. And so, because it is such a hard position. So Kittle's disappointing because he's the guy you drafted to say, I don't have to worry about tight end. I have Kittle. I'm all set. And it is not coming across that way. So definitely, could he blow up for some couple weeks? Definitely. But tight end 2, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's becoming a situation, like I said, when he comes back, you still don't know how great it's going to be. And now it's looking like they're starting to thrust Trey Lance in. And usually once you see that happen, if the team's not doing that great, then he may stay out there.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things with fantasy football, right, is just being able to look at what you predicted and see where you need to make changes. We're in the middle of the season. If we get take lock and say I'm not changing my thinking until the end of the season, you will never win and learn. So we just want to kind of go back over stuff that flag plants we had, and some are going to pan out and we're going to be awesome because that's what we do, but some are going to miss. And so just ability to adjusting, adapting, and saying, you know what, maybe Sam Darnold isn't terrible this season, and making moves from there, and maybe JT is a good person to maybe buy if you depend on where they're ranked right now. So just continue to look at our rankings and where we have guys to help make us better and hopefully make you guys better too at fantasy football.
Yeah, that was one argument I've had a lot lately with people, is about we're trying our best to be analysts here and do the research for you guys, and that requires us to have opinions on everyone, and not just the top guys. So Christian McCaffrey is going to be a great running back. Great analysis there, bud. You worked hard with that one. We're trying to tell you how good of a running back does somebody like Trey Sermon going to be this year in effect, and so you're going to miss on some, and so that's basically what we're doing, is a quick little heat check on some of these, how we feel they're going. These could all completely shift. We could do this again 3 weeks from now with the exact same players and see what it looks like, and we very well may do that, just to see kind of how it looked in comparison and pull up some new ones and do the same thing. But these are going to change like crazy. But it's kind of a fun little experiment. I liked what you threw together here, Jay.
Appreciate it. Good answers. Good answers.
All right, guys. So like I said, this is going to be a very short episode. So we're going to go ahead and kick it off with our starts of the week for week 5. Starting off with the quarterback. Go ahead and let you go, Jay.
All right, my quarterback is Matt Stafford. They're playing Seattle. It's quarterback 8. So it's a little bit greedy on my quarterbacks. He's supposed to be a quarterback 1, so I'm not stretching too far. But definitely going to be a bounce back week for him after that Arizona game, to where he did not play very awesome. But I'm thinking a nice game from him against Russell Wilson. Nice little shootout between the quarterbacks.
And just to give a little bit of context for our starts of the week, because we're not giving it these past few weeks, where we're getting what they're projected to be is on Fantasy Pro. So if you want to go check there and go to their projections tab and actually sort it by position, and we go off of PPR as well when you're going to do your scoring, that's how we're deciding these. So if we think somebody's going to finish higher than what they're projected at a significant enough point to be a start of the week. That way you guys have context for future episodes. So my start of the week at quarterback is Trevor Lawrence. He's going up against Tennessee. Tennessee has been horrible against the quarterback this year. Just about every single one that's went up against him has done really, really well. This is a divisional matchup. He stepped up for us in week 1 as well.
Right.
It's not been a smooth ride for Trevor Lawrence thus far, but you are seeing the signs. He's starting to get better and better each week. I think this is a good week for him to step up and do it. And so against Tennessee, I look for Trevor Lawrence to have a big game. He's projected to be the quarterback 19 on the week. I think he's going to be a lot better than that. Transitioning on down to running backs, my running back start of the week is Leonard Fournette going up against Miami. Leonard Fournette is projected to be the RB14. Anybody that knows me knows I am trying my best to hold down vomit from trying to say Leonard Fournette is my start of the week. Cannot stand Leonard Fournette, but I got to hand him credit where credit's due. He's earned the reps there, and it looks like he's the one. My luck, Ronald Jones will come out and drop 150 on Miami's head. But that being said, everything points to Leonard Fournette is their main guy, and everything points to starting your running backs against Miami. They are horrible against the run. Everybody is going off against them. So Leonard Fournette against Miami is my start of the week.
Running back for me is Darrell Henderson. Same game as Matt Stafford with Seattle. I think he's back healthy. It's right in the middle, just right running back 13, so right before Leonard Fournette. Good value. I think he's going to play well. It's going to be a good game. Like I said, it's going to be a good offensive game. Not complicated. Start for Henderson. Don't overthink it with him. Just play him. That takes to our wide receivers. This is where I got a little bit stretchy. Which of course with my receiver is mine is Devonta Smith. He's projected to be wide receiver 35. I think this is a bit low for him. He did have a strong week last week. He's been a little bit up and down each week, but I think he can tie together 2 good games. They're playing Carolina, and it seems to be those games have been a little bit more offensive minded with Carolina lately after Dallas game. So he's a guy that I think you can get good value. That might be a flex type starter or maybe wide receiver 2, but I think right now he's going to outperform his projection for this week.
Yeah, it's a copycat league. I think Dallas exposed Carolina's defense on a couple different things, and so you're going to see everybody kind of try to duplicate that. And Eagles have a good enough running back room to spread it around to make them have to commit to that. I was genuinely shocked to see Devonta Smith down to 35, so I think that's a great start of the week. I'm a big fan of him as well. My start of the week is not as low, but I still think it's low for him. Rightfully so with recent weeks. Is CeeDee Lamb. I got him starting as my start of the week against the Giants. Giants have allowed a major receiver game almost every week. Terry McLaurin went off against them as one of the examples, and I do think him and CeeDee Lamb play a very similar game. And I think CeeDee Lamb delivers on that draft stock we all put in him this year. This is the game we've been waiting on. He's kind of fallen off. Congratulations to those of you like Jay who's been able to go out and acquire him in places because he's about to take off and people are just overreacting. So if you were smart and did that, bravo, he's about to deliver on Sunday. And so going on to our tight ends, this one is, as he said, to preface it in the our take on George Kittle, tight ends are such a dice roll, and we're both doing just that. My tight end this week is Joanie Smith. He's going up against Houston, who has been absolutely horrible against the tight ends. And this is mainly just me calling my shot that he's going to be more utilized than Hunter Henry. They both got the same amount of targets. If you go for yardage, it looks like Hunter Henry had a better game, but Joanie's the one with the touchdown. So with the tight end, that's really all it takes to finish good at the tight end position is a touchdown. So I think Joanie gets some work all around the field and gets that touchdown for him on Sunday. So he's my start of the week.
Yeah, my tight end is Cameron Breit. Last week with Tampa, he replaced Gronk's role, but there still was some transition issues as far as understanding how he would play in the system without Gronk being there. And then in the rain with New England game and the wet field, it just made it really hard to catch. Basically, I mean, everyone was struggling last week, and so I think they will be in more of a rhythm, and he'll be a great value guy to have. I mean, he's maybe probably on your waiver wire. So if you're carrying Gronk or you're unsure about tight end, just because that Tampa offense is going to bounce back after their slow week, even in the win against New England against a high-powered Buffalo offense. So I like Cameron Breit. He is tight end 28 right now. So again, the value is there when you're looking at a tight end.
Yep. So that if I didn't mention it, Joanie was 21. That is our start to the week for week 5. Good luck, everybody, on your games. Make sure this is something that we will start to do if we get enough of them. If you guys have any questions for us you want us to include on a Q&A part of our episodes, just send us a tweet or comment below on the actual video itself. And any kind of questions, we do Dynasty a lot, so these are questions that can live on beyond just the week. But you can have rest of the season outlook questions on, trade, stuff like that, and if you want us to include it, we may throw those in on Q&A segments in future episodes, so make sure you do that. You can follow us on Twitter right below our names, at Pick on the Blog and at DallasFFO, or at the FF Outpost on Twitter, and reach us any of those ways. Again, make sure you subscribe if you haven't, drop a like as well, and click that notification bell to see anytime we upload. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck on your games this weekend. Bye.